So I gave my favorite PokeTubers an ace Pokemon for if they were gym leaders. I thought it would be a cool idea to go back, see some content, figure out which Pokemon would fit their personalities best if they were gym leaders. And I think I did pretty well picking an ace for each of these PokeTubers. So if you liked the video and you want to see more, make sure to smash that like button, and I'll try and do a follow-up where I give them each a full team instead of just their ace. Of course, if you want to win a copy of Pokemon Scarlet, I'm still giving one away as soon as we hit 500 subscribers, so smash that subscribe button and you could win the copy of Pokemon Scarlet. But for now, let's get into it and start with the first one. And we're starting off with MNJTV, aka Mikey, and his ace would be Mega Lucario. Now if you know Mikey's content, you know that he hates struggling in battles, he hates difficult challenges, and he hates Nuzlocke. So, while Castform is one of his favorite Pokemon, I don't think it would fit as an ace. Number one, because it's pretty weak, and number two, it's kinda not cool enough to qualify as an ace. For him, the perfect ace Pokemon would be Mega Lucario. It's got incredible offensive stats, great typing, and brilliant speed, combined with its signature ability, Adaptability, and I think that would make for an incredibly difficult ace to beat. Plus, I think Mikey would kind of enjoy the feeling of when a challenger comes to him, gets all the way to his ace, and he sends out a very high-leveled Lucario, already putting some fear into them, and then just grins as he mega evolves it, sending them into trauma spirals and ending their Pokemon careers forever. Mikey's great Pokemon knowledge, fun content ideas, and complete lack of competitive experience make this uber tier Pokemon a perfect candidate to be his ace. And to be clear, I'm talking about Mikey the YouTuber, not Michael, leader of Team Sky, whose ace would obviously be Rayquaza or Mega Rayquaza depending on the timeline he's in. Now going on to the next one, we're talking about none other than the Frog King himself, Pokemon 7, and of course, as the Frog King, his ace would be Politoed. Like I said, he's the king, so it would make sense that his ace Pokemon evolves when using a King's Rock. Politoed's signature ability, Drizzle, makes it a cornerstone of lane teams and a powerful supportive Pokemon. It has decent bulk, meaning it won't sweep any teams, but it's a nice tank, and it does set the stage for powerful sweepers like Kingdra to come in and finish the battle. In the same way, John has a way of setting up the PokeTubing world to just level itself up by coming up with amazing challenge playthroughs and opportunities which are filtered through to the rest of YouTube, improving the experience for everybody. He's a brilliant content creator, and I think Politoed just fits his vibe and would be a really good ace for him. Next up we have Purplecliff, and of course it would be Chad the Baneri! No, I'm kidding, it's Ditto. Like, Purplecliff does have a couple of iconic Pokemon in his runs. Number one, we've got Chad the Baneri / Lopunny, the Legend Killer, and I think it would be really cool for people to come up and see his ace Pokemon being, you know, the Legend Killer Chad. But I don't think that actually really fits him. Given how much Purplecliff enjoys, like, battling for the content and, you know, just trolling people, I think the perfect ace for him would actually be Ditto. Because if he was in a situation where it's one-on-one and his opponent throws out their ace, what would be funnier than just throwing out a Ditto and suddenly having the same ace? Now, Ditto isn't a terrible Pokemon. If it had its Imposter Hidden ability, it could be really good for a one-on-one with anyone's ace, especially if you give it a Choice Scarf to boost its speed and help it sweep. There's something kind of fitting about Purplecliff trolling his opponents by finishing them off with a copy of their own ace Pokemon, and that's why I think Ditto fits. Plus, he's done so many randomized Nuzlocke runs that his ace keeps switching up every 2 minutes, and for that I think that versatility is kinda encompassed best by his favorite Pokemon, Ditto! Next up we have Papacy, and for this one I picked Swalot. Now, I actually went and did a bunch of research for this video, and looking at one of Papacy's videos where he talks about his favorite Pokemon, he talks about Swalot quite a bit. And I thought that was really cool, because while it's not a traditionally strong Pokemon, it does kind of fit Papacy's channel vibe. If you've seen, one of his most popular series is his Nintendo series, where he follows strategy guides and beats Pokemon games as Nintendo intended. But then he's got another part of that series where he beats Pokemon games as he intended. So while Swalot isn't a traditionally strong Pokemon and may not traditionally fit the role of an ace, I think it would be a nice callback to Papacy's beating Pokemon how I intended or running my gym how I intended when he uses a Swalot as his ace to fit his personality, and because he definitely has some cool jokes to make about Swalot's forbidden pre-evolution. Next up we have a YouTuber who isn't strictly a Pokemon YouTuber, but whose Pokemon videos are some of the most popular on the internet. And of course we're talking about Jaden Animations, and I think her ace would of course be a Blaziken named Teriyaki. Now if you don't know the reference there, please go watch Jaden's first Pokemon Nuzlocke, because that's such an iconic video. If you haven't seen it now, you really need to do it. She's a really good Pokemon player, and she does Nuzlockes with a level of skill that is way higher than the average player. For her first Nuzlocke, she chose a Torchic called Teriyaki. This fine little poultry evolves into Blaziken, which is a blazingly fast sweeper, which kind of fits Jaden's Nuzlocke personality, where she smashes through every opponent with no mercy. I think Jaden's no mercy style would carry over to her ace Pokemon, and any challenger unfortunate enough to face her in the gym would be met with an all-out assault from her ace, because if they can't overcome a Blaziken, do they deserve the victory anyway? And finally, can we really have Poketubers being gym leaders without including a champion too? And right there we have the perfect candidate, Mr. Wolfie VGC himself, world champ, with his ace Executor. Now if you don't know the reference there, I didn't actually pick Executor as his best Pokemon. I took the cue from Wolfie himself, because who am I to argue with a world champ? Wolfie himself said Executor is one of his favorite Pokemon, and one he almost won a world championship with in 2012. I like to think that if Wolfie were a gym leader or a champion, he'd have double battles when you face him to simulate actual competitive battling, and would have Executor as his ace as a callback to that 2012 world championship team. I don't know what most people would do against a world championship running a solid strategy, and if Wolfie does decide to use some obscure strategy, I don't know if this battle would be winnable, but I like the thought of it being difficult because it's Wolfie and his strategies and he's so good at it, not just because he has some OP uber tier Pokemon. I think Wolfie, with a Pokemon that's not traditionally thought of as super powerful, as an ace that is ridiculously challenging, is just a perfect way to kinda cap off this video. So what did you think of the Pokemon I chose for these Poketubers ace Pokemon? Do you think they fit, or do you think that you have a better fit? If so, let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know down in the comments if you want me to take this video concept further and actually craft a full team for each of these Poketubers with custom rule sets and things like that, and challenges in their gyms. If you think that's a cool idea, let me know down below. Thanks everyone, see you next time.